Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Jeremy Adams, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest nights,
No evil shall escape my sight.
but those who worship evil's might.
beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, Master of the Core. It is.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And this time we'll be talking that very tangential to Brightest Day tie-in, Green Lantern Core 48 to 52.
Yeah, not a whole lot of Brightest Day going on in there.
Pretty much just a whole thing with, we'll get there, but with the weaponer. What's this?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Well, you'll have to, I know what this is, but you'll have to read Brightest Day number 3 to find out what this is.
True. Very true.
I think they're reaching a little bit.
Just a little. Just a little.
All right. So, yes, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, you might notice, yes, this is the first episode of Sector 2814 with the new Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks logo up in the corner over there above Will.
Oh, I had not noticed that. That's cool.
Yes.
Very cool.
Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks have new logos, and you can buy merch with those on there too. So go buy merch, kids. I'll tell you how at the end.
Cool. So how's it going, man?
All right. How are you?
I'm ready for my Green Lantern to get in so I can read it.
Oh, you're still waiting. Yeah. Now, what day does that usually? I mean, does it differ, or when does that usually? I know it comes the end of the month, but is it like always like the last day of the month, or is it
Probably last 2 or 3 days of the month?
Oh, okay.
Typically.
I don't know how you do it. How I don't know. I'd ever catch up if I did it like that. I'd be like, man, I got too many books to read.
Well, and I've noticed that Green Lantern War Journal's not included again, so I'm wondering. Look, I subscribed to that. Where is it? So I'm gonna have to email them and say, or call them and say, hey, what the heck?
I wonder if was it originally planned as 5 or 6 issues, and then I know that I think they extended it. So I wonder, did something kick in or kick out once they extended it?
Maybe. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, maybe they only had it down for 6 issues or something.
But yeah, I kind of want to see what happens there too.
Lilith and I were talking about new comics a while ago, and yeah, we were talking about War Journal, and you know how it's kind of weird with the sister and everything. Lilith agreed with us; they need to bring back Cap Matui.
There you go. Yep.
Correct that. Correct. One of the maybe the most grave of grave injustices from Action Comics Weekly.
Yes, I would agree with that. Although there were some pretty grave injustices all around in that.
I said, oh yeah, we were doing Electric Mullet last night. I told Justin, I said, because next episode we're going to be doing Action Comics 600, and then I said after that we're just going to do, for a while we're just going to be on Superman and Adventures of Superman, because we're not touching Action Comics Weekly. I said I did it once with Will and Matt. That is enough. I have done my time.
You've done your penance.
I ain't going back to Shawshank.
That's right. You're getting busy living.
I know. I said for the purposes of Superman, I think the Superman stories in Action Comics, what was it, like 2 pages, 3 pages?
They were super short, weren't they? It's been I've blocked a lot of that from my mind.
I think Superman was the shortest of all the stories that were in those Action Comics Weekly. So I was like, it would serve no purpose anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you've pretty much completed the Burn run then, haven't you?
I'm trying to remember, when did he go off? Because like I said, next time we're doing Action 600 and Superman 18. I can't.
I think he was as soon as Action Comics went weekly, he was off it, I think he was still on Superman for just a little while after that, right? Like
Yeah,
into
maybe.
the 20s.
So,
into the 20s,
yeah.
maybe.
Maybe. So if we're not done, we're getting close to the end of the Burns run. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm trying to remember what were we talking about where I'm like, oh, that's so Byrne. Anytime there's like a half dressed woman in distress, I'm like, that Byrne. All right, so should we jump in because we have 5 issues tonight?
We do. We have a lot, and we get we actually see a couple of pages from a different perspective in these, right?
Oh yeah. All right, so yeah, at the beginning of this one, yeah. All right, I'll do the credits, but yeah, no solicits tonight, so we'll have to walk these through. Green Lantern Corps, Volume 2, number 48, Revolt of the Alpha Lanterns, Part 1. Writer Tony Bedard, new writer here. Penciler Adrian Saif, inker Vincente Cifuentes, colorist Randy Mayer, Gabe Edelab, and Carrie Strachan. So 3 colorists. Steve Wan's letterer and editor Adam Schlauman. All right, so let me open my DC Finite here. This is but yes, I believe all of these have Brightest Day stamped on the top, kids. But as you'll see, this barely, as we said, barely touches Brightest Day. So
just the barest. It's like what, 3 panel? Oh well, no, we get the Weaponer. Yeah, the Weaponer has like 4 or 5 panels, right?
it's like a page here. There's like what, a page 2 and maybe 1 or 2 is. It's not.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Oh yes, and then on our cover here, we get Green Lantern's Kyle Rayner, John Stewart, because yes, we're going to see more John Stewart finally.
Finally.
And our new Green Lantern Ganthet.
Yes, which honestly, I had forgotten that Ganthet became a land. I read these. I'm sure I read these once 13 years ago, 14 years ago, but I don't really. I'm like, what the heck? I don't remember these. So
I know that this is so crazy. I think of this stuff as like the new Green Lantern stuff. It's like 13, 14 years old.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it starts like you said. I think we saw it in Brightest Day last episode. Yeah, where Ganthet and Guy Gardner show up on Yzamalt to have some kind of secret meeting with Atrocitus. But we really, we still don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, and I'm curious about the continuity between because we saw that book, we saw this scene in Green Lantern, I believe, last week. Was that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So, did that scene happen before or after the battle with Lobo? I think it was before, wasn't it? Because I'm trying to. I think.
Yeah, I think they showed it after.
Yeah.
Or did they show? No, it might have been like the battle ended, then they showed this scene, and then did they show that Atrocitus was in on it with Lobo? Is that what?
Maybe. I was just trying to because is the reason Atrocitus was there because of this conversation, or did that happen after? I couldn't remember where exactly it.
I can't remember. And again, they could jump around, so who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But I do like when Guy calls Atrocitus Red Lobster.
Yeah, that was pretty good, actually.
So yeah, again, we get the line where Guy says, if this happens, Jordan and I are done being friends for good. And Ganthet's like, yes, I know. My own next move will also require sacrifice, but it is necessary as it is overdue. So then we flash to Oa and we see Ganthet resigning as a guardian of the universe.
Mm-hmm. And then he makes his own ring, which I thought was really kind of fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah, we're down to 6 Guardians again already. It's like, didn't we have a bunch more?
Yeah, Scar. Hey, but all those guys that had names were bad.
Oh yeah, that's what they say. Yeah. The Mad Guardian Appa Ali Apsa. Remember him?
Oh yeah. Hard traveling heroes.
Yep. But I believe that was episode 4, I believe. 161 episodes ago, kids.
Yeah, you can check it out.
Um,
The Road Back. Green Lanterns
Yes.
1 through 8.
Easiest way, check out the playlist on our YouTube channel. Yeah, Ganthet, Scar, Sade. But it seems like they take it well. For the Guardians, they take it well.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're even going to issue him a ring. He's like, no. He's like, no need, brother. I shall make my own. Yeah, he goes to the foundry. So what's it say from the Book of Oda? To forge a power ring is a feat most arduous, even for a guardian. Massive, potentially lethal levels of willpower must be sustained throughout the process. For will is the ore from which a ring and battery are crafted. First, the battery is cast in a mold, then the ring is summoned from the lamp as it is ignited.
Yeah,
So
I
yes,
thought that was cool.
get that splash page. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, look at that. Look at his Lego brick battery. Look at that.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't look like Kyle's, and definitely doesn't look like John's and Guy's and Hal's. So
or not even like the central power battery.
yeah,
Uh,
or even the Alpha Lantern's chests, right? I mean, they've got those batteries in their chest.
So, and then we see who is that in the core barracks?
Haran not or
I think, yeah, but having that nightmare, yeah. Like dead Kilowog coming after him in the middle, yeah, Blackest Night. I love Core Barracks 1, bipeds and tripeds. So yeah, he has this nightmare. Then he wakes up and sees, Alpha Lantern Varix. Rookie. But Varix takes him somewhere. Because he says, you have the ability to enforce justice. You have been requisitioned by the Alpha Lantern Corps.
I'm sure this is fine. It's fine.
Nah.
Nothing the Guardians do ever backfires or goes wrong ever.
Especially with robotics, never.
Mm-hmm. It just doesn't happen.
So yeah, 9 hours later, we see John, Stewart, and Cal, and some rookies basically trying to rebuild stuff on Oa. Yeah, and then they're talking to Ganthet here. Yeah, John's saying 80% of the city is irreparable. Whoever wrote the building codes on ancient Oa didn't reckon on the Blackest Night.
And I love what Ganthet says. It's like, nah, this is only a few million years old. The original buildings would have been fine.
Barely 8 million years old.
Yeah.
He said that. Yeah, the architecture of ancient Oa was the greater punishment. Punishment. And
Except, let's walk that back a second.
yeah,
Oa didn't exist until Kyle reformed Oa.
That's what I was thinking. As I was reading this, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, these buildings may appear like they're millions of years old, but they are not. I know.
They can't be, right? Because Oa was destroyed. Kyle recreated it, then the Guardians came back, and then rebirthed, right? So I thought it was a cool touch, but yeah, it doesn't necessarily take into account that, Oa was not there.
So again, I mean, these build. I mean, in real time, that was what like 5-6 years previous to this or something.
Who
Maybe
knows at this
7.
point.
Yeah, so I'm saying so in comic book time, it shouldn't even be that long. It's just
Phil, who
Yeah.
blew up Oa? Who blew up Oa? Phil?
that maniac Hal Jordan as our heroic Kyle Rayner tried to stop him. That bastard Hal Jordan.
That's not how I remember it.
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
I mean, but you got to give him a break. He did recreate it, so it all works out.
Yeah. If they wanted to do the millions of years old buildings thing, they should have been. I was waiting for the retcon. Cal just as Ion basically just created some kind of temporal anomaly and pulled it from the past or something.
Yeah. Or recreated them exactly as they were when OO was,
Yeah.
before it was destroyed,
But yeah, but John wants to know if there's any records of these, ancient Owen buildings, and Ganthet's like, are you suggesting rebuilding in the original Owen style?
You bet.
Yeah. But he's like, yeah, returning to our aesthetic roots could signal anew, but then they get called to the Citadel by Salak. This is not a drill. I love John. The rookies take over, but just make sure the buildings are empty and knock them down.
Yeah, exactly. Just that's all we're doing. This is not rocket surgery.
Exactly. We find out Kyle's staying with Soranik because since his place got totaled.
Mm-hmm. And the repeal of the third law, right?
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, John comes in. This other lantern looking for his partner, and Salak's kind of blowing him off, and he's like, "Oh, Lantern Stewart has actual business here."
Yeah. And it's been a while since we've seen Salak. I always like seeing Salak.
Oh yeah. And then John walks in on the Guardians, and Boudica's there, and he's like, "Why is she doing here? What's the charge against me?" He's like, "No. No, she requires your expertise." Yeah. But she's saying, yeah, planet Grenda and space sector 3009 has gone dark. All communications from that world ceased 2 days ago. But yeah, she's looking for John because he has a military background, a talent for stealth and infiltration. This situation requires more subtlety than I am known for.
Both as an Alpha Lantern and as not an Alpha Lantern.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I think it even gets brought up in one of these issues. Yeah, like her little encounter with Lobo in the middle of a battle.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what was that? Was that during the third law?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe because that was actually a crossover too.
Yeah, that was that era. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then yes, we see this lantern who's looking for Lantern Haralker. But he finally finds him. He's like, "Oh, I've been looking all over for you. Why didn't you answer my calls?" Oh, it's Lantern Glibberquip. But yes, he finds his partner is now an Alpha Lantern, and again, they tell him, "Yes, you have the ability to enforce justice. You have been requisitioned by the Alpha Lantern Corps," and that's how the whole thing ends. Yeah, you have been requisitioned by the Alpha Lantern Corps. All right, so what you think?
Yeah, this was these first two issues of let's see. This was just the first one, right? We haven't got to the second one yet, have we?
Mm-mm.
No, this was just the first one. I thought it was good. It was a really good setup. We got, I think, like John, we're supposed to think that something's going on because the Alpha Lanterns are not necessarily behaving, and the Guardian. What the Guardians? Why do they not know what the heck's going on?
No.
Because they never know what's going on, of course. But yeah, I thought this was really good. We got to see everybody, where everybody ended up kind of after Blackest Night, just a little bit with Guy. And I think Guy's spinning out into Emerald Warriors, right? Is that?
I think so. Yeah, because I think that is coming soon here. Yeah.
Yeah. So we know he's going to be jumping over to there. Atrocitus is, with Hal and the rest of the, what do they call the Rainbow Brigade?
The New Guardians.
Yeah.
Another New Guardians. Yeah.
The pre-New Guardians, because they become the New Guardians when New 52 rolls around, right? But yeah, I thought this one was pretty good, and I really liked seeing Ganthet. I'd completely forgotten that he had become a Green Lantern and was the Green Lantern of Sector Zero, which was, I thought that was kind of cool. And then of course seeing him, forge his own ring, I thought was cool too.
Oh yeah. All that willpower. Oh yes,
willpower.
Oh yeah, I did open it up. Yes, Emerald Warriors is next. The first 6 issues is next episode. So.
Oh, okay, cool. So we'll get lots of guide next week.
Oh, yeah. All right, you ready for the next one?
You bet. Let's roll.
All right, Green Lantern Corps number 49. All right. Looks, yep, of course, Revolt, August 2010, Revolt of the Alpha Lanterns Part 2. Same team, except we just have Randy Mayer and Gabe Edelab as only 2 colors this time. And again, no synopsis. So, all right, we start at Grenda in Sector 3009, where Boudica and John are headed for. And we see someone talking to the Alpha Lanterns here.
Yep.
Basically saying, you are already Green Lanterns, legends on your home worlds, blah, blah, blah. Why would you ever choose to become Alpha Lanterns? What lies did the Guardians tell you to make you surrender your souls, to shed the flesh and become machines, to become like me?
Who could it be, Phil? Who could it be?
Well, it's not Superboy Prime, but it's another figure who won't go away. But then half a parsec away, Boudica and John are like warping in. He's like, once you've thrown through it a few hundred times, hyperspace is actually boring, making this the equivalent of a long ride in an elevator with a creepy stranger.
Which that's pretty accurate, right? Pretty accurate.
So yeah, John tells us that let's drop below light speed before we get too close, and then they scan it for comm chatter. There's none. So they sneak in on a meteor. So he's like, yeah, the trick is to keep your aura dim and know when to jump off. You used to enjoy the stuff like this, Boudica, back when you had a personality. Oh yeah, because we get this whole page, yeah, where he's basically saying, you remember raising hell with your old teammates, the Bellatrix bombers, and feud with Creon, or the fling you had with Lobo right in the middle of a battle. What happened to all your passion? She says her passion has been repurposed. If you had only joined the Alpha Corps, you would know what I mean. She asks him why he refused, and he says, just something he taught us in sniper school when I was a Marine. Never get into something without a plan for getting out. He's like, do you hold it against me? Do you ever feel I should have stopped you from being turned into a machine? She goes, I'm not a machine. Really, how much of the old you left in there? All of me, John. My physiology is altered, but I'm still the same at heart. He's like, I want to believe you.
But you don't have a heart anymore.
That's for sure. To make room for your battery. So yeah, so they're marching, they're looking around, and he's like, oh, they see a giant lantern. He's like, is this a new sector house? And she's like, if so, it's not sanctioned by the Guardians. So as they're sneaking around, he's thinking about, he's like, how can she insist she's still herself? He's like, Then they find a lantern on a table, and it's Lantern Horak, not Space Sector 885. And he's like, what's she doing here? The Guardians didn't send. And then we see Stell in pieces.
Yeah.
Our new drill instructor, yeah. He says, John Stewart, you should not have come. You're in terrible danger. Leave Grenda at once. And he says, never. The Corps never leaves a man behind. But then Boudica
shockingly.
Yes, from behind. Yes. She says, do not fight me, John Stewart. You have the ability to enforce great justice. You will join our ranks. That's when the other lanterns Alpha Lanterns show up and say, we answer to a higher power now. But then we see back on Oa, yeah, Kyle, well, he's having a weird dream about
Jade.
Yeah, he's in bed with Jade, so he wakes up going, Jade! And Soranik's not too happy. But then there's a knock at their door, and it's Ganthet. He said, for the past 6 hours, I performed a thorough security sweep of Oa. I have found no threats, but I did notice something exceedingly strange. Every single Alpha Lantern has departed Oa.
But and they only made like 10 or 11 of them initially, right?
Yeah, and then but Soranik saying she's seeing new ones now, and they're popping up
Yeah.
more and more. And Kyle said, "Me too." But I just figured they were replacing our war dead, and Soranik says, "Shouldn't you be telling this to the Guardians?" And he's, "Get that my brethren would spend the next 10 days debating their response. I fear we may need to act sooner."
No time to take it up in a committee.
Well, I guess for when you're a billion years old, 10 days don't seem like much.
It's like, yeah, you can hold your breath that long, probably.
They must be. Why do you think they're blue? So then Cal's like, but you don't know for sure the Alphas are doing anything wrong. Maybe they're just training their newbies. And Ganthet says they would have left someone at the Guardians' disposal. So Soranik asks a ring where the Alpha Lanterns are. That information is classified. And then Kyle tries to call John, and it's unavailable. Location unknown. But he gets his last location, and they get ready to go. And then we get our 2 pages of Brightest Day tease here on Cord. Looks like a glowing white spider web. Because this weaponer is saying, "Don't worry, the anti-monitor is gone. I saw him leave after his fight with that stranger, the one who left this behind. The question is, who was he?" And there's be a panel of dead, not dead man.
Yeah, undead man.
Undead man, yes. And it says, "Dead man's white power ring created the white energy construct net and Brightest," which we'll get to soon here. I think like maybe 2 weeks. And Brightest Day number 3.
Yep.
But yeah, this other weaponer shows up and says, "Don't touch it. Would you grab a live power line barehanded? My need for energy is greater than yours." So I guess it's going to do something with that.
I'm sure it won't come back to bite anybody.
Exactly. So Kyle, Soranik, and Ganthet show up on Grenda. And they finally get the distress call from John. But then they see an Alpha Lantern says, "I'm injured," but then it's a trick to try to drain their rings. So the Alpha Lantern's out looking for them, and Ganthet's like, "Keep your auras completely suppressed until they're out of sight." And Soranik's like, "Should we call reinforcements?" And they're like, "No, this is like it's like the Blackest Night. If we call, where people are just getting killed and turned into the enemy. This
Yeah.
suck up everyone's rings." So, but yeah, and then we see Boudica has John kind of beat him bloody. So, so yeah, the boss is getting a report that all the Alpha Lanterns are out tracking at the lanterns, and we see him say, "They damn well better catch him, or everything I've done here will come to nothing, and that would be such a terrible waste." As on the last page, we see, yes, the boss is Cyborg Superman.
That is right.
Good old Hank.
Yep. Back for more.
Yep. Oh Lord. So yeah, and we'll get the sad story of he wants to stop at this point, but he just when he thinks he's out, the universe pulls him back in.
Yep. So what do you think of this one?
I liked it. Again, we're getting more John, and we're seeing more of Ganthet with the team, actually working with the team and stuff. And
I think the first issue was stronger.
A little bit, yeah.
Just because it had, we got to see some cool stuff that we didn't really see. This is more setting up the battle to come, because really the next 3 issues are how they stop, Cyborg Superman, and I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think Boudica gets a good moment against Cyborg Superman there at the end, which I like. So we'll get to that shortly.
All right, should we get to number 50?
You bet.
All right, so we're at number 50 of the core book. All right. All right, so Green Lantern Corps number 50, Revolt. I love it's in the middle of a storyline. Revolt of the Alpha Lanterns Part 3, September 2010. Same team as last issue. All right, so again, no synopsis. Oh man, come on. Love how my app just like open, close, open, close. All right. Come on, kids. We want to see what happens to Cyborg Superman. All right. So number 50. All right. Yeah, we see Kyle. Oh yeah, they're all Ganthet, Kyle, and Soranik are kind of trying to like separate the Alpha Lanterns. Although Kyle's basically the one who's attempting John's rescue here.
Yeah. Which was pretty good, and I thought it was so. When the rescue's going on, Ganthet's. I'm a little confused here. So think, which is normal for me. So whatever. But if you think back to Rebirth, when Ganthet shows up, I mean he's extraordinarily powerful, right? I mean extraordinarily powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's no longer a guardian, but he hasn't given up that power, has he? I mean, he's just using a ring, but he has a lot of power that's inherent just to him being a guardian that's not calling himself a guardian, right? I didn't kind of understand that.
Yeah, they really didn't say if he gave up his power. Because does he even need a power battery? Can't he be charging that ring off himself, kind of?
I would think so. Or does he even need a ring because he can do all that stuff without it? I mean, but he is a Green Lantern, so I maybe we'll get more on that later. But it is cool to see him coming in and throwing down with Cyborg Superman.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. But meanwhile, while John's getting Cyborg Superman trying to turn him into an Alpha Lantern, yeah, John's kind of in Cyborg Superman's head, and we kind of get his origin. For those of you who don't know, in the Superman books, so what was it, like the early 90s? Yes, Hank Henshaw was basically Reed Richards. Him and his wife and his two buddies go up in space. Yeah, get hit by this radiation. And
have you guys got to that yet in Electric Mullet? Not
Nope.
yet. Okay.
Not yet. Why? You want in on what we do?
No, I'm good, man. Because I thought that was a Byrne thing. Because Byrne has a great love of the Fantastic Four. So
yeah, you would think, but yeah, no, that was after his time. Yeah.
Oh, cool! I did not realize that. Awesome.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember who it is. It might be Dan Jurgens or Saab. Well, I can even look that up real quick. What was it? Adventures of Superman. Was it like 466? I think. Yep. Adventures of Superman 466. Yeah, May 1990. So yeah, kids,
Oh wow.
Been a thing since 1990. Oh yeah, writer Dan Jurgens. That's a Dan Jurgens thing. Or should I say, friend of the show, Dan Jurgens.
Hi, this is Dan Jurgens, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
Written and penciled by Dan Jurgens. So
cool.
All right. So yeah, we see. we kind of, John's basically talked to him in his head, and we get to his whole origin, how the rest of his wife and the rest of the team died, and Hank Henshaw basically, as John puts it, became a sort of a disembodied brainwave. He basically can just take over machines. And again, he's like, I thought you were dead after the Sinestro Corps War. And he's like, it kind of was. He's like, but the Manhunters needed their Grandmaster, so the selfish bastards rebooted me. And then he says, my first act was to switch off every last one of them. I spent months feeling sorry for myself. So then when he headed back to Earth, he saw it was in the middle of Blackest Night.
Yeah.
Dead were rising and attacking the living. But then he sees his wife and his crew were came back as zombies, just like everyone else. And he's like, quite a surprise considering I once ripped Terry's corpse to shreds in a range. But they paid him no attention. But then he saw the big black lantern, so he went to see what that was about. And I guess he calls him the Grim Reaper, but Necron, and he's like, you there, Angel of Death, put an end to my suffering. I'm talking to you. But of course, Necron ignored him too, because he's like, they were only interested in hearts, and I had none to offer. So. Aww. I fled more hopeless than ever. I feared the universe would die, but I would live on completely and utterly alone. So then I decided to reactivate the Manhunters. But the universe didn't end. Then someone who knew all about my dilemma, someone who pointed out there was one group of heartless beings death did acknowledge. Yes, we get our little.
Yep. Wonder who that is.
I wonder what race they could be.
I don't know. Guardian. Excuse me.
Short in stature, wearing green chains. I wonder who that could be.
I don't know.
But yes, this little figure tells Henshaw about the Alpha Lanterns. They will be the key to your freedom, he says. He told me the way, and in exchange took my Manhunters. I was glad to be rid of them. So this figure took the Manhunters.
Yeah.
So that's not going to come back at all.
No. It's fine. This is fine.
And then John's like, why are you telling me all this? And Henshaw says, I want you to understand, I'm not a monster. I'm the victim. And because you brought the one I need to Grenda, I thought he'd come after me when I first took control of the Alphas, but no. Then I thought he noticed as I converted more and more of the Green Lantern Corps. It took the disappearance of one of his favorite humans to finally lure him in.
And who is that? That's Ganthet, of course.
Yes. As Ganthet breaks in and tells don't force me to destroy you. I love Henshaw. Ganthet, the Guardian's loose cannon. But then Kyle breaks in and frees John. But then Henshaw grabs Ganthet, starts draining him. An old friend of yours promised you could fix me. You won't need your ring either. All that is required is that ancient mind of yours. Because now he's got a power battery in his chest too. But Ganthet says I'll never aid a mass murderer. And Henshaw says, you might want to reconsider. I'll turn you into an alpha, just like your partner. It looks John Stewart, and John's gone. Because Cal got him out of there.
And then he goes and while he's getting John out, he goes and saves Soranik.
Yep. And he's about to kill the Alpha Lantern that was attacking her. And she's like, no. He's like, I didn't kill him, and we're not sticking around. If I had to kill to save you, and he's thinking she doesn't like it, but she knows I mean it. 2 former girlfriends dead at the hands of my enemies. I'll be damned if that ever happens again. Well, it was 3, but it was 3. 2 came back.
2 came back, yeah.
2 out of 3.
So it's like 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
That's a D, right? I mean,
what are we still talking about Alex's death? Oh, that's cold. Yes, kids, it's a refrigerator joke. I'm sorry. So they go into hiding with John. Yeah, they find this cave where basically the machine inhabitants of Grenda are in this cave under the control of Cyborg Superman.
Yep, just stay down there and don't move, and that's what they're doing.
All right, so what you think?
This one was a good one. There's a line in there. Is it Kyle? Where or maybe it was John that says that he hates to see Ganthet having to take lumps for them, which is an interesting thing because Ganthet is down there fighting. But again, I mean, when Ganthet showed up in Rebirth, it was like the air got still. It was. So I'm a little confused by his status, I guess, because it's just so new. They haven't really explained much of what's going on at this point.
Yeah, no. And too, remember early in Kyle's career, Ganthet's like, yeah, I guess you'll have to do. Now, who's the first person he goes to run a restaurant? Kyle.
Yeah.
Did he go to Hal Jordan? No, he went to Kyle Rayner.
He went to Kyle. Kyle's his favorite. He's the torchbearer.
That's right. All right, are we ready for 51?
You bet.
All right. Yeah, 50 was a lot of Cyborg Superman. This is how I survived.
Yeah. And
even though I didn't want to.
Yeah, and that little hooded figure that we see with the green chains, I don't know who that could be. Phil, do you know what time it is? Can you look on your chronometer?
You said small hooded figure. I was going to say Kevin Hart.
Nice.
All right. Green Lantern Corps 51, October 2010. Yeah, we're about a year. I think we're about a year out from New 52.
63 is the final issue of Green Lantern Corps. So exactly, 12 issues.
Yep. Revolt of the Alpha Lanterns Part 4. Same team as last time. And again, no synopsis. I'm going to be mad if there's no synopses for these, but there's synopses for every issue of Emerald Warriors.
Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you.
Mr. Guy Gardner. Stupid thing keeps closing on me. All right. Yeah. All right. So we're kind of cleaning up the Alpha Lantern thing here. All right. So yeah, we see. So we open with Cyborg Superman telling Ganthet, "Do it, Ganthet, save him." And Ganthet says, "I cannot save this Alpha Lantern. I cannot save any of them." Henshaw says, "You're stalling." He says, "I left the Guardians of the Universe before they created the Alpha Lantern Corps. I do not know how they were assembled. You want me to reverse the process, but I will only end up killing them. Honestly, I doubt any Guardian could change an Alpha Lantern back to normal. Every aspect of their design and function suggests their transformation is permanent and irrevocable." And Henshaw says, "Maybe so, Ganthet, but it ticks me off you won't even try." And then, he's controlling all the Alpha Lanterns. So he says, "Alpha Lantern, deliver quip. Prepare to blow your head off."
Mm-hmm.
It's like, as you command. But Stell says, "He is bluffing, Lantern Ganthet. Do not comply." And Henshaw does the countdown, and then Ganthet's like, "Stop, I'll try, I will." And Henshaw says, "That's all I'm asking." One, and it has blow his head off anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's just like, why? And he's like, so that you won't even think about stalling again.
And then doesn't Ganthet ask a question right after this? What's this feeling in my heart at this point?
Oh yeah, I think yeah.
Oh wait, no, that must have been after the surgery.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, then we go back underground with John and the others. They're basically trying to get the inhabitants of Grenda to help them. basically, yeah, they're basically trying to get them to help them. But then Kyle's like, he goes, I know who we can call in. And Soranik goes, your Justice League friends? They're on the other side of the galaxy. The guy I'm thinking of is closer. But if I make the call, the Alphas will detect my signal and zero in on us. And John's like, well, we can't hide forever anyway. And then next, okay, our one page, shameless Brightest Day plug here.
It's a weaponer.
Yes,
On card.
the weaponer with that white net, who says, I recognize what you are right away, though. I've only seen your like in green and yellow, never white. I will forward you into my greatest weapon, my godsend, and at long last, I shall settle the score with Sinestro. Oh. Remember, kid, you're gonna hit the king. You better kill the king.
You come for the king, you better not miss.
Yeah, back on Grenda. Henshaw's just telling Ganthet faster. He's like, don't rush me. Every component I disconnect might kill him. But then Henshaw detects a burst of ring energy from the caves. It tells Boudica to go investigate. And Henshaw still... But yeah, Ganthet's like, this mechanism is tied to his coronary system. If I reroute command to these functions, and then his life signs start crashing. So then Henshaw's just hurrying and implant this mechanical heart, which life signs restabilize. And Ganthet's like, that's terrible. Anything else I try to remove will be just as vital. And Henshaw says, you better be ready with the synthetic organs. As he rips out another one.
Yeah.
Which kills the patient. And he says, remember which part that was on the next patient. Save it for last.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when Ganthet's like, what is this terrible ache in my chest?
Yeah.
And Henshaw's like, that's called grief. One of those wonderful emotions you little blue know-it-alls ignored for so long. Then we see back in the cave, Cal's talking to someone saying, how quick can you get here? And we see a voice say, I'm one hyperspace jump away. Stay alive until then. So then John's to ask Cal, he's like, how much juice you have left in your ring? He says, I have an idea of how to use that last little bit. But yeah, that's when they have Cal make a big ring construct of Stell, and they're basically trying to get the people to say, he's protected you for years. Now he's in trouble and he needs you. He taught you the meaning of courage. Will you just hide down here and let these invaders destroy everything you've built? Or will you show them that Stell wasn't the only hero here? So they get them all worked up.
Mm-hmm.
But then Boudica shows up. She basically tells them to surrender. Your rings are drained. Lantern Stell is dismantled. And that's when reinforcements show up. Almost put their fist through Boudica. Lantern Hanu.
One of the Lost Lanterns.
I love she starts like draining his ring. He goes, you want to drain my ring, Boudica? Choke on it. I never used the damn thing anyway.
Yeah.
He punches her in the face. I love Kyle's like, he's not going to kill her, is he? And John, it was your idea to call him.
Yeah, it's on you, dude.
But yeah, Kyle's telling him to ease up, and she's still a lantern. He's like, I know what she is. Boudica was my friend. We spent years chained up together, bled out by Cyborg Superman and his manhunters. And he says now she's practically a manhunter herself. And he rips like that faceplate off, and seemed like she's coming around. I don't know if he punched her in the power battery or what.
That's not a euphemism.
Yeah, no.
Punched her in the power battery.
But he says, yeah, you sound different now. She says, I cannot hear Henshaw screaming in my head anymore. I think I'm dying, but at least I feel like me again. So yeah, she said she's going to get back the energy she stole from their rings. We get that cool splash on the last page.
Yep, that's a nice splash. Yep.
Yeah. And then next issue, the conclusion.
I was surprised by Hanu. I thought that was a cool reveal there of who they called in.
Yeah, because we haven't seen him in a while.
Oh yeah, not at all.
So yeah, that went.
And so what do we have left of the Lost Lanterns? Arisia, Hanu, Boudica.
Boudica.
I think everybody else is pretty much gone at this point, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, because they're all dressed. Yeah, because we killed Jack Chi Chance. Creon's dead, isn't he?
Creon died during the escape.
Didn't Chance die? Was it Blackest Night or right before that? Chance
I think
died.
Chance died. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, I think you're right. That's pretty much it. All right. So should we get to the last one?
You bet.
All right. Green Lantern Corps 52. From November 2010. Revolt of the Alpha Lanterns conclusion. Same team. And every time I switch screens, the stupid app refreshes. All right. That's all right. There we go. All right. So yeah, we see. It looks like everyone's recharged, and it looks like Boudica might be dead, but.
Yeah, and she actually narrates this.
Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah. I love Hanu. Green Lantern of Sector 2 hails from a people whose ferocity exceeds even my own. And then John Stewart comes from Earth, world of chaos and self-indulgence. How could it birth such a warrior as Stewart? And the infamous Hal Jordan is beyond me. Infamous!
Infamous.
And then she's like, most perplexing is the Earthling Kyle Rayner. He is a starry-eyed dreamer and a fool, yet his victories are already the stuff of legend.
It's true.
Yep. And then she's like, Rayner's consort, Soranik Natu Korgar. I know least of all, but I welcome her presence nonetheless. But they're trying to save her, and Soranik's like, damage Hanu did may have freed Boudica's mind, but her body is dying. Cal, can't you save her? And she goes, I'm a surgeon, Cal. What she needs is a mechanical engineer. And that's when John's like, well, that's not exactly what it says on my architecture diploma, but I'm the next best thing. Yeah, some of these, like, especially like these panels here, I could barely recognize John in some of these panels.
Yeah, I don't know. Did the art team change on this, or
I don't think so. Hold on, let me scroll back. No, it's still Adrian Seif, penciler, Vicente Fuentes, inker. No, it's the same team as we've had pretty much this whole time. Unless it was like a rush job or something. I don't know. Even though he's not around yet, I'm like, some of these panels looks like Simon Baz more than John.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I would agree with that.
I wonder. No, I mean it's so weird for the last issue, but I was gonna say, did we do a last minute lineup or something?
I don't know.
Was this supposed to be what's his face with the bird legs now?
Oh, yeah, we haven't seen them in a while. I don't think so, because I don't think enough time has passed. They're both still recuperating, right?
Oh, maybe, yeah. But yeah, well, of course, those two are. I mean, we got a new writer, so I don't know if he's just like, yeah, those two can. But yeah, John says he thinks he can hold her together. So meanwhile, back at Cyborg Superman, Ganthet says the Alpha Lantern he's working on, he says, I believe I could safely remove her power battery. And then, Henshaw's like, Heroic Knot will no longer be an Alpha Lantern. She'll be normal again. And Ganthet, I would not put it that way, but
Yeah.
yes.
She won't be an Alpha Lantern anymore.
Yeah, but he pulls that battery out, and she's like, "Yes, I feel strange, but I am still here." So then Henshaw's like, "Yes, you did it, just like you said. He said you would." He's like, "Now remove her and do the same for me." And that's when they feel like another Earth tremor. So, and he's like, "Something's wrong with Boudica. I can't feel her anymore." So he sends the Alpha Lanterns out to check. Yeah, you know what? It's so weird. Supposedly this is the same art team, but some of these faces, it looks different. I mean, look at Cal's face on that page.
Yeah, it looks off.
There's something going on here. And again, I don't know, maybe, unless they didn't credit, it's the wrong credits. Maybe it's someone else, but supposedly it's the same team we've had pretty much this whole arc here.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Lanterns and the inhabitants of Grenda attack, and Henshaw's like, "No, not now, not when I'm so close." But yes, he's trying to take control of every citizen of Grenda here.
And he seems to do a pretty decent job.
1 billion robotic life forms held back by the mind of just one man, but that mind has its limits. He cannot hold out long like this. So then that's when the Green Lanterns decide to press their attack. Handy will just like grabs the Alpha Lanterns and smashes them in the other one.
He's not killing them, is he? Doesn't someone say that? Or was that only when he was fighting Boudica?
I don't know. But yeah, John tells Boudica to stay back and go warn Oa, and she says, "No, you said it yourself. Do you really think I'd abandon a fellow Lantern?" But then when Soranik goes in to check on Ganthet, he's recharging his ring, I think, off that battery he pulled out of that Alpha Lantern. But she says, "We need you topside." He says, "Just as soon as I reassemble our drill instructor." And then meanwhile, Henshaw is using the robotic citizens of Grenda as like giant fists. That's when John and Kyle just start blasting them. That's when they all, like Stell and Ganthet and Soranik show up too, and they all start blasting them. He's like, "Do your worst. Do you really think this body matters? Do you think you can lay a finger on the real me?" Because he tries to. This is the trick he keeps pulling every time. Is he destroys his body? Yeah, he tries to find a new. He tries to leap into Alpha Lantern Boudica, which he does. But yeah, he's basically in her mind, and because he's like, "I'm human again."
Nope, you're dog food, buddy.
But he sees the real Boudica. He's like, "Yes, I'm the warrior whose body you're trying to steal, and I won't let you." And he's like, "You can't beat. I've beaten Superman. I've killed millions. You're nothing to me. You're more machine than flesh. You will submit. I command it." She's like hell I will. And he's like, "How are you doing this? You're supposed to obey." And she says, "You may have controlled my implants, but this is the real me. This is the willpower of a Green Lantern." And slices his mental image in half. The Corps had enough of you, and so have I. But yeah, they're like, "What's going on?" And she tells them, "Yeah, Cyborg Superman attempted to hide in my battery. It was a fatal mistake." So John scans her to confirm it. But yeah, she calls him John because like Ganthet says, "You said John instead of Lantern Stewart or Lantern 2814.2. And your term seems different." But yeah. Boudica says, if anything has changed, it is you, Ganthet. Perhaps your newfound emotions allow you to see me for who I am and not what I look like.
Huh.
Um,
And then we get the ending on Oa, right?
Yep. Oh, but yes, the Alpha Lanterns have been repaired. But as he repaired my fellow Alpha Lanterns, Ganthet saw to it that the spark of emotion burns within them as well. So yeah, they may never look this, normal again. But at least our fellow Corpsmen will no longer regard us with fear or revulsion.
Yep.
So yeah, and then the 6 remaining Guardians say Ganthet, Boudica, John Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Soranik Natu, and Hanu and Stel. You save the people. We grant you honor guard status. You may operate in any sector, serving as an inspiration to Green Lanterns everywhere.
I thought that was an interesting choice at the end there,
Yep.
Because traditionally they only had it was Kyle and Guy as honor guards, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I'm sure this gives the writer free range to use them however he wants, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing this is just. I'm trying to remember how it goes from here, but I'm sure this is just him saying, "Up, yep, this is my lineup for this book going forward."
Going forward.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly enough, the collected edition of this includes the Boudica story from back in, I think it's 21 or 22, when she had just been changed into an Alpha Lantern, I think.
Yeah. So we covered that. Yeah. Yeah, because remember we said, it was kind of like out of order almost.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so this is weird. So it's like, what do the Guardians think is going on? Because it's like, okay, so now this is your new honor guard. What do they think Guy's up to?
Yeah, I know. What is he up to?
I
We'll find out next week.
And again, it's like, so does Hal not have a backup now on Earth? Because there's supposed to be 2 lanterns for each sector. So is Guy supposed to be the second Green Lantern there now? Or
Well, and they've been recruiting, right? Because the rings started going out again, after Blackest Night. So, I don't know.
Are things just in such disarray? They don't even know what he's doing on Earth with Sinestro and the others. It's just like, oh.
Yeah, and I'm the number of Guardians only being 6 now. That should be worrisome,
Mm-hmm. I mean, we know Scar's out of the equation now. Ganthet's a Lantern, but I swear there was more than 8 Guardians before.
Well, 2 or 3 or 4 of them died during Blackest Night, right?
Blackest Night, yeah, they did. Yeah,
and Saeed she's now with Larfleeze, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Scar did kill at least 1 or 2 during Blackest Night. Yeah, okay, makes more sense. Can't we just grow more? I mean, that's what Cal did.
Exactly. Ion, right? Hey, just
Yes.
oh wait, Ion's not there
Ion
anymore.
I don't know. We might have to do this the old-fashioned way with the Zamorons.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, what'd you think of this?
I thought this was a really good arc. I think it used the Alpha Lanterns pretty well, and I know we're coming up to it. We've been going through a patch where pretty much everything the Guardians do is, well, there's a technical term for it. It's called dumb.
Only for the last 500 million years. Come on.
Yeah, okay. But it's, I don't know. I think we're in for even more of that because there's the War of the Green Lanterns is coming up, and that's not necessarily them. That's someone else. But after that, they do try to replace, I think, all of the Green Lanterns with, robots at some point. So, I mean, I really liked the portrayal of the Guardians during the Grant Morrison series. I thought that was kind of a cool, interesting take, I don't even remember how many Guardians we had during the last series. of Green Lantern. Do you remember?
No. I swear it was more than six.
I thought it was more than 6 too, but then I think we get the Guardians that were the Guardians from Green Lantern Ganthet's Tale, Green Lantern Ganthet's Tale. Remember, because they were
Yeah. Oh, on Earth. Yeah. The
on
whole
Earth. I think they come in
leprechaun
at
thing. Yeah.
some point. I don't remember when, but they come in at some point.
Yeah. Remember that one they found on Earth? He wasn't he? Didn't he become a guardian on Oa? So, but well, I'm sure someone killed him during Emerald Twilight.
Who was that? I don't know who that was.
That bastard.
Probably the same person that blew up Oa, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, Hal Jordan.
I'm for something, Jordan.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna get to it, but I think it's in New 52. Isn't there a story where like these Guardians go evil or something, and then there's like, oh, we have more Guardians like locked. We've had them locked up for like a couple million years or something. So
Yeah,
these will be our new good Guardians.
We got some spares. It's okay. I guess we'll see.
But I forget the actual like time frame, but I swear it seems like they were locked up for a million. I'm like, oh, so they were locked up that whole time. Cal could have used some help. Okay.
Yeah, and they were locked up during the Blackest Night. We could have used some help then too. Oh well.
Although New 52,
we're not supposed to think about that.
New 52 is a strange time because a lot of people got completely rebooted. But yeah, no, of course, your best sellers weren't getting rebooted. Like, the Green Lantern stuff, and yeah, you know who. Yep. And yeah, New 52 wasn't rebooting Green Lantern or
Batman, my favorite character.
Oh.
Into the Dark Knight, all to do with Batman.
Nice.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it. I think we covered this is a good little arc. I really liked it.
All right. So next week, that's right, we're going to cover Green Lantern Emerald Warriors 1 through 6. So maybe we'll find out what Guy's been scheming with Ganthet and Red Lobster. And then in 2 weeks, we'll cover Brightest Day 2 through 7. So maybe we'll find out about that glowing spiderweb thing. And the week after that will be Brightest Day 8 through 12. So yes, maybe we really will get to that.
Nice.
Yes. All right. So yes, send us all your thoughts on that. Send us your thoughts on these issues. Again, you could win a Green Lantern prize pack. So send us all the thoughts. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise. Again, brand new merchandise with the brand new logos. So, yeah, get that cool. See that logo up in the corner? You can get that on a t-shirt, on a cup. Yeah. And then, or the Capes and Lunatics one, which is a blue one. So yes, merchandise. Again, you can just rain random money on us through the Cash App link, which Little Hellfire demands you do.
Make it rain.
And of course, the ever-present Patreon. Again, helps, again, it's a two-way street. Subscribe, and you also get bonus content no one else gets, uncensored content. Again, the March episode was Little Hellfire and I talk conspiracy theories, talked a little bit of politics. Yes, always a fun time. So find it all at tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever. I love it.
All right. Now for this Mr. Will Allred, master of the Green Lantern Corps, master of the Quantum Zone, master of podcasting, and master of several successful Kickstarter campaigns. Mr. Will Allred, where can people find you and all your other works?
You can find me at Walred. That's at WALLRED at Gmail and Blue Sky and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram probably, and maybe a few other places that I can't remember that I set up. If you'd like to check out the comics that I write, you can do that with Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com. As Phil said, it was just a number 5 was a successful Kickstarter. We're going to be going to print with it real soon. Thank you, sir. And you can also check out Diary of Night at diaryofnight.com. And finally, you obviously have great taste because you're here listening to Phil and I talk about Green Lantern, which means you probably love Marvel's Quasar almost as much as we do. And if you'd like to find out more about that, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org. I'll put it in my navel.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
I hope it's going somewhere nice.
They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
Well, the Alpha Lanterns couldn't say that.
That's true.
All right, kids. And of course,
I, of course, love Hal Jordan.
Of course.
that infamous Hal Jordan.
Infamous.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Speaking of infamous, come back next week for Guy Gardner Emerald Warriors. Wait, is that Guy Gardner or Green Lantern? Yeah, Green Lantern Emerald Warriors. But yeah, it's Guy Gardner, kids. Hey, Guy Gardner by any other name.
It's like a 12-issue series, I think, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, they are on the list. I mean, we won't get to them. 13 maybe?
Oh, 13? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it looks like maybe 13. All right, kids. Come back next time. And remember, show your friends you love them by punching them in the face. Good night.
In the power battery.
Hanu.